solution we think is probably the strongest backup and BDR solution in the market because of its combination of on-site backup tech as well as cloud-based backup and recovery technology. Exchange backup and granular recovery. This is for mailbox level recovery, full Exchange database recovery, or even message level recovery. And again, John's going to demo that. All right, so how does this line us up against the competition? I won't dwell too much on Carbonite and Mosey because their solutions really are sort of only designed for consumers and really, really small businesses that got relatively unsophisticated backup technology. Of course, Mosey's owned by EMC, which has a very strong backup portfolio, so there are other parts of the EMC portfolio that are more heavyweight than the Mosey solution. The sorts of people that we compete against more directly include, in addition to the companies we've already discussed, also Zenith, Infronus, eVault. But even when you one-up SOS against these guys, remembering very importantly that we're significantly cheaper than all of these in terms of the price we sell to you at. From a functionality standpoint, we're actually superior. So again, this concept of a better backup at a better price. And where are the areas where we're more functionally superior than these solutions? Things like being able to manage up to 5,000 accounts through one central management portal. Mobile applications, the ability to access any of this data on the run. So most of these other business backup software companies really haven't invested in mobile the way we have. And then I'll skip through this because we're going to see it in the product demo. So with our recent 5.2 release, we've actually improved throughput by 40%, which is great, but probably doesn't mean a lot to any of you all if you're not current partners. Got some questions here that are coming in. So John asked about the Vembu online. John, with Vembu, the last time I looked at them closely, you still had to set up your own data center, so you didn't get to benefit from the Vembu cloud at all. They're also pretty weak on mobile, and their prices are probably 3 or 4x out, so they're far more expensive for you to deploy. And Abik's asking about Facebook backup. Abik, the real opportunity in cloud is in cloud-to-cloud backup for business backup services, things like Salesforce.com backup, NetSuite backup. So as more companies are moving mainline systems to cloud-based apps, we want to build out a suite of services that will actually back up those business applications. So Facebook's really just us dipping our toe in the water. It's not the end game here. It's our ability to back up other cloud-based business services. Question here from Raul, what's the average backup speed in megabits per second of the local staging machine? Raul, it's limited by your LAN, so that's going to be super fast over the LAN. In terms of backing up to the cloud, we've got partners with sustained throughput to our cloud of 30 megabits. So we don't throttle anything. Really, you're limited by, let me go back, all of our competitors throttle. So for example, Infronus, last time we checked, was throttling at 500 kilobits per second. Mosey also does that. So no matter how fast your connection to the cloud, it's really going to be throttled by their software. We don't throttle. A pretty typical throughput for people on connections is 8 to 10 megabits, which is, you'll find, the fastest in the industry.
Yeah, and also to that point, Acronis only backs up 1 gigabyte every 15 minutes. So if you want to back up a 200 gigabyte file, it's going to take you over a day.
Right.
It's going to take you a very long time.
Matthew says, is the 11 cents per gigabyte the suggested consumer price? No, definitely not. That's the wholesale price to you. Sean, do we have a slide in here on pricing?
No, we don't.
Okay.
Not today.
So here's how it's priced. We recommend that you sell ServerSave to your clients at $129 per month per server. Okay? We sell that to you. The entry point is $75, Jeff?
$75.
$75 per month per server, so 50% margin share for you. As you buy more volume, that goes down to $35 per month. So you can be buying ServerSave from us for $35 per month and selling it to your customers for $129 per month. The $129 per month is simply a recommendation. We have some partners who are selling it for a much higher number than that. I've even heard of partners selling it for $500 per month for a fully managed business backup solution. So the 11 cents per gigabyte per month, this is your wholesale cost. This is what you buy from us at, and then you roughly double that when you go and sell it to your customers.
And if I can add to that, Matthew, by the way, this is Jeff McCoy. I'm the VP of Sales. What we're generally seeing partners reselling the file and folder or the per gigabyte at is roughly $1 to $1.50 per gig per month, depending on whether or not it's a managed service. So if it's more commoditized, then it's on the lower end of the scale. But as a managed service, then you can exact a greater margin. So it's typically in the $1.50 or so range. So you can see that the margins are quite handsome when you're purchasing for 11 cents per gig and you're selling it at roughly $1 per gig.
A big sort of question, do you find customers are hesitant to back up data in the cloud that isn't their geographic territories? I think we do, which is why we have data centers all around the world. So it's actually one of sort of our competitive advantages. If you look at the other companies that are providing managed clouds for you, we've by far got the biggest global footprint. So, so when you become a partner, you can nominate which country you want your data to reside in. Matthew's asking, is the per gig in addition to the ServerSave cost you just spoke about? Not really, Matthew. There's really two ways to think about pricing. There's the per service thought approach, and then there's the per gig thought approach. I prefer the per server one. It's much simpler. $129 per month to back up a server. That's what your customers pay you. You pay us between $75 per month and $35 per month, depending upon volume. So that's the simplest way to think about pricing this. Now, the $129 per server per month, that is for an unmanaged solution you just sell off your website. If you're actually going to deploy this for your customers and manage it for your customers, we recommend that you sell it for significantly higher than that. So to Jeff's point, as high as $200, $250, $300 per month per server that you're actually managing for your customers. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, any other questions on pricing while we're here? So this wasn't the part of the webinar we were going to talk about pricing, but we're here now. Does anybody else have questions on the way we price to you and the way you price to your customers? While those questions are coming in, Matthew's got one. Who handles support for direct sales unmanaged? Matthew, usually it would be you. Usually we would rebrand this for you. So our solution is 100% branded. That's called out here, rebranded software client, rebranded marketing material. So you would sell this as matthewsonlinebackup.com, and you would handle first level support. You can do a co-branded approach with us where it's known by your customers that you're partnering with us, and in that case we would handle customer support. So that really is up to how you want to go to market. A lot of MSPs and ISPs and ISVs that we deal with want to own the customer relationship, in which case they want to keep SOS hidden. And then we have a lot of other people who really want to leverage our brand and our awards and our reputation, in which case, they're happy for their customers to know it's SOS powering their solution. And speaking of which, we do continue to win a lot of awards with the PT Magazine Editor's Choice now 4 times in a row. Recent write-ups from the 451 group and the Tenasia group singing the praise of our new ServerSave technology. So if you, again, you can talk to our partner specialist to get more information on all of that. So let's turn briefly, let's spin through the competitive landscape. We've really talked through this already. No more questions have come in on pricing, so hopefully that's clear for now. And here, just a data point, there are companies out there selling server-based backup for $24 per gigabyte per year. So to Jeff's point earlier, you're buying this at 11 cents per gig per month. There are some companies out there successfully selling this at $2 per gig per month. So the margins are very rich. What we generally tell our partners to expect is a 50% margin on what they sell, which is, and we say that with absolutely no shame or apology. That's a fantastic margin to be earning.
I'm very conservative.
Right. So you can definitely be beating that, but there's nothing wrong with 50%. This slide really just gives you an idea of the functional landscape, and John's going to walk you through a demo in a minute, but bear with me for a little bit longer. If you think of the online backup market, I take that back. If you think of the backup market, we suggest that this is a good way to look at things, dividing it into consumer, micro businesses, small businesses, enterprise endpoint fleet, so laptop fleets in the enterprise. And when I'm talking here, 5,000 employees with 5,000 workstations, as well as enterprise servers, the data center. So we break out the data center of the enterprise from the endpoint fleets of the enterprise. And then if you go across from right to left, the different types of backup needed. Mobile backup, so we need to back up iPads and Androids. File and folder backup. We need to back up laptops and workstations, Macs and PCs. Exchange backup or email server backup. Database server backup, SQL server backup. Bare metal backup. Sometimes we need to take full bare metal backups of these servers and these workstations. And then bare metal to the cloud, actually getting those bare metal images to the cloud. So you end up with this grid. And when you're designing your go-to-market approach, you should really print this slide out and sort of circle the segments that you're attacking, because there's different sales and marketing approaches for each. And the really important thing is the SOS technology portfolio really lets you tackle any of these. So most of our partners, would be circling a whole bunch of cells on this diagram, usually through the micro business and small business rows of this diagram. You'll notice the SOS logo is up in the top right for consumer as well. We have a very strong consumer solution. So if you are selling exclusively to home users, I wouldn't want you to get the impression that there's no opportunity for you here. I would warn you, though, there's a lot of competition. Alex has a question. Any other email supported Domino group-wise? Alex, not yet, although there will be in future. So, we're really building out the server backup portfolio. All right, so I'm going to pause there and take any questions on pricing, the partner program, what it costs you, what you sell to your customers at, which markets to attack, and the SOS company before we go into a product demo. So any questions on any of the stuff we've covered so far before we turn to a really hands-on look at the product itself?
Guys, on the topic of pricing and whatnot, we're in the process now of winding down a very successful quarter for us, one of the best quarters we've had. And we certainly acknowledge that is the result of our partnership channel, because that's where most of our revenue comes from and what we support the most. So we have some different opportunities for the last couple of days of the month that you may elect to take advantage of, which would result in increasing the amount of gigs that you would have to sell, or licensing, or time period. We have several different options that the partner specialists have at their disposal. So I would certainly encourage you to call in after this webinar and speak to your partner specialist and ask them for what type of quarter-end initiatives that you can take advantage of. So there's several of them, and I think there's something great in it for you.
And remember, you all want to call in to get that free Kindle anyway. So call in and put your name in the draw for the Kindle giveaway at the end of this, and ask about those promotions we're running. A few more questions have come in before we go to the demo. David's asking, is the pricing 11 cents per gig per compressed gigabyte per month, no server licensing fees? David, it's a little more complicated than that. So again, what Jeff says, great, call in. It's 11 cents per raw gig. It's not compressed. And when you buy a bundle from us, you get a number of server license seats, and the most common package is our Server 5, which comes with 5 server license seats. And then you also get an amount of cloud space. So, and Server 5 comes with how much cloud space, Jeff?
1 terabyte. So you can think of it as, with the ServerSave platform, you have 2 basic cost centers. One is the license in and of itself, and the other is the gig space. And you can deploy the gigs independently of the server license or in tandem. That's your option.
Cool. Paul's asking about the minimum entry requirements. Paul, we've got a whole bunch of monthly programs, so you can get started for a monthly fee of like a couple $100. It's a mobile phone bill to add a whole new service line to your business. Matthew asked, does ServerSave include all types of backup, bare metal, file server, exchange? Matthew, yes, it does. So with that ServerSave 5 we were talking about, you get, I think it's up to 1,000 workstation and laptop seats, a terabyte of cloud space, and 5 ServerSave seats. Abik asks, do you have a freemium model where you can get customers hooked by giving them certain gigabytes for free? Abik, yeah, well, so that would be up to you. That would be your decision to make with your customers. So yes, you can certainly pursue that model, and it's a really terrific way to earn leads. So it's a very sticky product. Giving away small accounts to your customers is a terrific way to get leads and actually get people onto the sticky paper of online backup, because switching costs are really high in this space. Once your customers have deployed your backup solution and are backing up all their machines to the cloud, it's really difficult for them to switch away from you. And that stickiness is probably one of the most attractive elements of online backup as a business model.
And through your rebranded software solution, you will have the ability to provision free trials for your prospects as well. And that is not something that gets debited from your overall gig capacity. So it's a great tool.
Terrific. All right. Well, if there are no further questions on business model and pricing and positioning, John's now going to dive us into a product demo. And what we're going to see through the product demo is all of the pieces of technology you use as a partner. So that'll include your partner dashboard, the online backup and recovery manager, which is the core of our cloud backup technology, and then the various pieces of the ServerSave solution. So we're going to see the bare metal backup and recovery as well as the Exchange granular recovery for full database, mailbox, and message level.
Okay, thanks, Ken. So I'm just going to get logged in here real quick. All right. A little update from Firefox there. During these demos, we also show the partner dashboard, which is basically a centralized portal we have here using the web. And when you come here, you'd be able to create an account. You can view all your users, manage your backup plans if you want to change the pricing. What that really means is we give you an e-commerce website where you can drive traffic to of your customers, and it gives more information about the product. They can fill out a support ticket if they want to.
Actually, click into that, John. We'll just show it briefly so we can.
Okay.
So this is sort of the portal where you manage the business side of your backup solution. So as John was saying, all the way down the left-hand side, all the tools you need to deal with your customers. So shopping carts, the pricing that you sell it at, support tickets between you and your customer. There's even an email marketing system built into it for you to do email campaigns to your customers. So this whole, what we call web integration package, is focused on the relationship between you and your customers.
Okay. And so then we have this little download online backup here button. We have where you, after you create a user account, you'd go down here and assign licenses to that customer. On the right-hand side, it's a management portal. It's also web hosted by us. You can manage everything from the website. As far as an example, like I said, we do give you an e-commerce website to help you with this. So for starters, this is how it's going to look, similar to this. Different buttons for your customers to explore. There is a sign-up page. So when I say e-commerce, I really do mean that we're setting everything up for you, where you can take a credit card payment for an account. Money goes right into your bank account, not ours. So that's convenient.
And also important to note, you don't need to use these interfaces. These are provided for those among you that haven't maybe got a sophisticated web presence yet and don't have e-commerce enabled. So these jumpstart you. For a lot of you, you'd build your own web pages on the front end, and you'd have your own e-commerce portals or transaction system that you bill your customers with.
There's also a web login link here and contact us, so you can be in contact with your customers if you choose to use this e-commerce website. So if you want to add an account, you would click here, fill in your information out, select the backup size, and then you'd go back to the main screen here and manage licenses. You'd assign that user you just created a license key, so you hit assign, type it in, and now you're ready to actually deploy the SOS ServerSave solution for a customer.